The following is a presentation of WCMP Sports, local sports.
Past the 25, to the 20, to the 15, he's going to high step into the end zone, touchdown!
Here, wide receivers split each side.
He's still going into the end zone.
East Central Minnesota, the action starts now. To bring you the call, here's Ethan Game Day Gilman.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside Pine City High School for tonight's conference matchup here in the Great River between the Pine City Dragons and the Braham Bombers. Of course, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman, and I'll be bringing you all the action between these two conference rivals here this evening at beautiful Pine City High School. But it's not just me tonight. Nope, we are joined once again by Taylor Tollefson. Again, still not sick of me, but Taylor, thanks so much once again for joining us here.
Yeah, no problem. It's so much fun coming out here, doing these games, getting experience, and just looking at the great talented teams.
Absolutely, and I know I've had a couple people come up to me and tell me how much they enjoy you, so passing that along. You're already getting more famous than I am. I'm soon going to have to turn it over to you. But just for tonight, I'll still take us and I'll lead us on the way, but maybe in the future, Taylor will be taking my job. But for now, I still have a job. But looking at these two teams coming in here tonight, it is a big one. There are a ton of conference implications on the line, and with that, there will be some QRF points moving as well because of how big this game is for both teams. As we take a look at both of these teams, for Braham, they're ranked number 6 in the state in all of Class Single A. For Pine City, a little bit lower than that at 38th in the state, which is kind of skewed just a little bit because of how talented Class 2A really is. But that's not to take away from Braham because they are having quite a season. They're 16-3 on the year, and most recently, they just beat Ogilvie to keep track in the conference with the conference crown. Now, going into last week, we saw Pine City lost their first conference game in over 60 games, Taylor. That was a tough one to watch as a former Pine City Dragon myself, but also just tough to watch to see a team lose like that. But it was also cool to see Ogilvie be able to get a victory like that. It kind of, again, I think for a lot of these teams in this conference are thinking, oh my gosh, finally someone beat Pine City. And Ogilvie was able to do that. But then later in the week, Ogilvie was beat by Braham, who Ogilvie beat earlier in the season by a buzzer beater. So a lot going on in this conference right now, and I'm sure it's easier said than done, but how do these two teams come into tonight and manage to kind of wrap their heads around just this game and try and forget about the outside noise?
Well, just this game is really important because then that puts Pine City back on top for potentially coming conference champs. So, except that part, they are going in like it's a normal conference game. And it doesn't matter what because they played Braham before, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter what their last score was. It's coming out, going out strong, and using those long days of working hard and putting them into this game and just fighting hard. It doesn't matter if it's a win or a lose. You're just playing hard. You're putting all of that stuff that you worked in practice into the game.
Yeah, and they did have a good stretch of time off here because last Tuesday was the last time they played, so they've had over about a week and a half off here between the last two times that they have played. So they've gotten well rested, hopefully. And unfortunately, though, one of the players is out. That is Piper Metling. She is out, and we're not sure for how long, but hopefully she's able to work herself back this season, and hopefully it's not too serious, but she is wearing that knee brace here. So, again, we wish her nothing but the best, and hope and pray that she's able to make it back here this season. But I don't like to touch on injuries too much because you just never know with injuries. It could be severe. It might not be severe, so I try not to touch on injuries too much. But, again, Braham, they lost to Pine City and Ogilvie in what was a 3-game losing stretch, and where they also lost to Malacca. But then they came back, and again last week beat Ogilvie to keep pace in the conference, as you heard Taylor say, for that conference crown. And right now, Ogilvie still sits on top, even though Pine City and Ogilvie both only have the one loss. Because Pine City lost to Ogilvie, Ogilvie has the tiebreaker right now. and sits on top over Pine City. But it all really comes down to tonight. If Braham is able to get a victory, they're still in the race for the conference crown. Then it'll come down to if Pine City loses or beats Ogilvie. And then I think actually if Pine City were to beat Ogilvie, even with the loss here tonight, it would be a three-way tie because each team will have beat each other once, and each team would only have 2 conference losses. So we could go even to a three-way tie. It gets really confusing once you get to take a deeper look at it, but we're taking it at face value here tonight between these two teams. Braham with the win keeps pace. Braham with the win is able to keep themselves in the running for a conference crown. We'll take a look at their season continuing with them. They have one of the best defenses in their section, in all of their section. Now, Section 5A split up into East and West, but their defense is the best in all of Section 5A. They only give up average 41 points per game. The next closest in the East is St. John's Prep with 46 points given up per game. And in fact, they are the closest, but then the next closest would be Verndale in the West with 46.1 points given up per game. So this Braham defense, very tough, very strong. I've been able to see a few of their games. They are fun to watch. They're kind of like Pine City. They don't have a ton of size, but they use their speed, their athleticism to get around defenses. And man, when they get going, they are tough to stop. And that's what Pine City's hoping to avoid here today. Continuing on with Braham, again, their 41 points per game given up is some of the best defense in all of Class Single A, not just for their section, but in all of Class Single A. Looking at it, they're about tied for second in scoring defense for all of Class Single A. Now, to put that in perspective, there are a ton of teams in Class Single A, and they're around that top 5 mark as we take a look at the rest of Class Single A. But again, the Braham Bombers had that losing stretch there of 3 games where they initially lost to Pine City. That was a tough one for them. They got beat by 10. Well, then they lost in a buzzer beater to Ogilvie the next week by 2. And then they would fall to Malacca by 3. So it was a tough stretch for them, but I had a chance to interview their head coach, Zach Loy, and he just talked about it, their perseverance, just coming out and getting over that. And, I mean, that can be a tough thing for a team to do, especially if you lose 3 straight, Taylor. Volleyball, I don't think they've had 3 straight losses since you've been playing. I think I don't remember 3 straight losses, but there have been some tough losses, and sometimes that can go into next game. So how tough is it, though, for a team to lose 3 straight like they did in the fashion that they did to try and come back against a team who is ranked top 10 and try and get that win? How tough is that?
It's really tough. It's the mentality of your team and how you want to go into this game yourself as well. If you want to go into this game like, oh my gosh, we lost 3 straight games, we better win this one, you're probably not going to win. But if you come in and you're saying to yourself, I'm going to play hard, I'm going to do what's best for my team, I'm going to be in the positions that my coaches need me to be and that my teammates need to be, and then having that as a whole team is just going to lift you guys up. And then also that energy that stays the same. It doesn't go up and down because that just wrecks it. But if you just have the same energy the whole time, you're going to be good. Like, you're going to be strong. You're going to be fast. You're going to be a great team.
And they certainly have since then, because since those 3 straight losses, they have won 6 in a row, again beating that top 10 team in Walker, Hackensack, Akeley, Hinckley, Finlayson, North Branch, Ogilvie, Maple Lake, and Swanville on their way to the 6-game winning streak. But it all comes down to tonight. If they win tonight, they keep pace, and they are able to be in a position for a share of that conference crown. But if they lose, that hope will end here tonight, because then Pine City would go to that game against Ogilvie that they have coming up, and that will decide the conference champ. Speaking of Pine City, we'll take a look at Pine City. They are in Section 6 AA, 3-0 in that section, by the way. They're 12-5 on the year. Pretty darn good defense, 47 points per game they average giving up. Now in the section, again, it's a really good section, so that's not towards the top necessarily, but overall in the state, that is right towards the top of the defense-wise. They score about 66.5 points per game. Again, not super normal for this team. We're used to seeing this Pine City offense being averaged about 70, 75, 72 in that range. So a little bit down this year, but they have played some really tough competition. And it seems like the defenses they have faced this year have just been that much better. as well. But they continue to overcome the obstacles. And taking a look at their schedule, it started out with a loss, but then they again would go and win 5 straight over Morrow, Mille Lacs, Hinckley, Finlayson, East Central, and a 3A school in Chisago Lakes. Then they would fall to Cloquet, and then fall to Esco in overtime, a game in which they trailed by 22 points in the second half to come back, force overtime, and sadly they did lose in overtime, but that was an incredible feat for them. And then another incredible feat was they beat Sauk Center for the first time in I don't know how many years. That was a huge win for them. Then they lost to Perham, and then since that Christmas break, they came out of it, and they would go on a 6-game win streak, beating Braham, Spectrum, East Central, Mille Lacs, Hinckley, Finlayson, and St. Francis. But again, they lost that high-scoring shootout to Ogilvie by 2 points, and they have been absolutely waiting for tonight's game against Braham to try and get back onto the court, try and get another win. But I'd have to go back to what Taylor said. It all kind of comes down to how you go into it mentally. You really got to be in a mentally good spot, and I think you and I had talked about it kind of after that Ogilvie game, how they might just have to kind of flush that one. Yes, you want to go back and correct the mistakes, but because of how devastating that loss was and how much how important it was, you and I kind of both agreed maybe they just flush that one and just look forward to this game. Looking at this game, though, I mean, what do you think is the top thing that Pine City wants to do here? Obviously get a win, but what is something they want to come into this game and do to try and help themselves get that win?
Like last game, we kind of said the little things were just off. So maybe they want to come into this game going, oh, I want to make sure that those little things are key. Like you are hitting those little things, and then even like new stuff they might have practiced, like trying to put those into the games, trying new stuff, like not mess up, but kind of change around Braham's defense so that they have time to shoot and that they have more opportunities to shoot.
Yeah, because this Braham defense, very good defense, but Pine City's offense, we have seen, you and I have seen plenty times where their offense can get hot, and Pine City's offense is just as dangerous. It can be one of the best offenses in the state. We all know that, so I definitely agree with that, and man, it's going to be a fun one here tonight. I'm guessing we'll see a lot of high-flying action. In your guesstimation, we'll call it, because I know we kind of talked about it in that Ogilvie game too, were we going to see kind of a more defensive game, or was it going to be more of that shootout style? Wound up being more of the shootout. Here tonight, do you think it's going to be more of a lower scoring game, defenses are going to come out, or do you think the offenses are going to be high flying once again?
I definitely think it's going to be a big defensive game. As you were saying, Braham has a very good defensive team, and Pine City, they can pull out, and if they pull out and do everything like they normally do and just be their normal team, they are insanely good at defense. There is no doubt about it. So if both of these teams go at it with the defense, I really think it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be hard to score.
It really will be because, like you mentioned, both of these defenses are hard to get by, and it's going to be a ton of fun to watch these two teams try and stop each other here tonight. It's going to be hard, but I would tend to agree with you, Taylor, because I just think in a game like this, with how much is on the line, I think it's going to be hard to score. But I think one of the biggest keys in this game is once again going to be Carly Jusak. She is the tallest player on the court, and I think she is going to have to get a bunch of rebounds for Pine City once again. Obviously, she has the Pine City record. No one else in Pine City history has got 1,000 rebounds in their career. Such a cool thing for her to be able to grab. But I think it's going to come down to her adding on to that record here tonight even more. So our pregame warm-ups are just about over. We're going to take a step back, get a word from our fine sponsors. Then when we come back, we'll be set for tip-off here in this conference clash. The winner keeps themselves in a good spot for that conference crown. Back after a word from our fine sponsors, you're listening to Girls Basketball on
Untangling your
WCMP.
headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local Auto Owners Agency, Pine Insurance Agency at pineagency.us today.
The saga continues. We now know with certainty that Kidney Stone will return for Season 5, Part 2, its final episodes, in November 2024. The same love story.
No one messes with my girl.
Oh, Bip, I love
you.
trying to save the ranch.
It's got the best pull shed in Kanabec County.
And of course,
This week, grab your tickets to the new Wrangler Stampede Rodeo. 3 options to choose from. Or you're going to the train station.
Let's take them to the train station.
WCMPradio.com/deals. WCMPradio.com/deals. Save now, but wait to watch what used to be your favorite show and everybody was talking about it, and now it's kind of lost its momentum.
Are you looking for a position where your role impacts the community around you? Then look no further than Burnett Dairy Cooperative in Grantsburg, Wisconsin. Owned by the farmers in your community, Burnett Dairy offers numerous career options with various responsibilities and growth opportunities. Positions such as CDL drivers, who work closely with our farmers, cheese production, creating award-winning cheeses, and retail store clerks making someone's day better. Visit BurnettDairy.com and click on Careers to join our herd.
All right, settle down. Let's call the meeting of people that complain about everything all the time and never do anything about it to order. Any complaints?
Yeah, my heating bill's too high.
Oh yeah, well Bobby just bought an outdoor furnace from Central Boiler and he eliminated his heating bill.
What about the hot water?
He eliminated that heating bill too.
What about his shop?
He heats that too.
I have no more complaints.
I think Central Boiler offers a solution to our complaints.
Save money on your cooling and heating bills. Visit NorthlandBoilerSales.com, your local Central Boiler sales dealer.
A duo that is perfect together. That's Dale's Heating and Appliance and Lennox. Dale's is your local Lennox dealer that's committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. With a wide assortment of options, Dale's will ensure your home's air is top quality. Call Dale's today or visit them at dalesheatingandappliance.com and ask how you can save on your next AC unit. Lennox and Dale's, the perfect duo. Dealer number E06356.
Experience our most popular sawmill, the Big Red XP. This Canadian-built mill proudly sits on an entirely welded 24-foot jointless frame. Accepting a diameter of 32 inches, this portable sawmill can saw logs up to 21 feet long or work with 2 10-foot logs at the same time. Includes an electric head position and automatic headlock. Powered by the renowned and proven Honda 20-horsepower version, the Big Red XP comes equipped with all the equipment needed. The Big Red XP is available only at Stan's Equipment Center in Pine City.
Wellia Health is here to keep you feeling your best so you can enjoy all the things you love best. You can count on us for your eye exams, mental health services, rehabilitation, wellness exams, urgent care, and much more. At Wellia Health, our goal is to help you live life well. Let Wellia Health help you get back to your best. Give us a call today to set up an appointment. 320-679-1313. WelliaHealth.org.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics. A smile you will embrace forever.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350, over on 100.9 FM. The Pine City girls getting one of their final regular season home game against Moose Lake Little River. Then over on KBK, it's the Braham Bombers hosting the Pine City Dragons boys basketball team. Here tonight, though, for the Braham Bombers, head coached by Zach Loy. Their starters will be number 1, Madison Davis, number 5, Aaron Zimpel, number 14, Morgan Rysdam, number 15, Olivia Hikus, and 35, Nicole Duvernay. Then on the other side for the Pine City Dragons, it will be, who are head coached by Patrick Judd, it will be number 2, Mallory Klepper, number 10, Summer Thiemann, number 11, Brooke Boland, number 12, Carly Jusek, and 23, Vivian Lottie. Brad Bombers going to be wearing their white away uniforms, the blue letters and numbers outlined in that bomber gold, the blue stripe down the side of the jersey and short, with the blue trim on the neck and shoulders, as well as the bottom of the short. The Pine City Dragons, green jerseys, green shorts with the white letters and numbers outlined in black, the black trim on the shoulders, neck, bottom of the pant, and on the waistband for Pine City. Well, Taylor, are you ready for this one? This is going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm on my toes for this one.
It should be a good one here, and Dragons getting their last words of encouragement in their huddle. Of course, it is their Hoops for Hope game here tonight for the Dragons. Every year they do this game in honor of people who have been affected by cancer, and they take donations, and all the donations will be given to the American Cancer Society. So if you're not here, or if you are going to be on your way, don't forget there are donation buckets here that you can help out with. So it will be Carly Jusak, and I did not see the other player. I can't see the number. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting glasses, so it should help. So maybe we'll stop hearing me say that. But it's Jusak at center court along with Rysdam, and the tip is going to be won by the Dragons. Brooke Bolin trying to get it inside quickly to Vivian Lottie, who missed the layup, got her own rebound. Now back outside to Jusak. It was off far side corner to Bolin. Going inside, Jusak, and can't quite deliver on the first points of the game. Still can't quite deliver. She got 2 more rebounds before putting it back up and in for the first points of the game. Well, she got the 2 rebounds, and so far so good for Carly Jusak. She's adding those rebounds. But again, for Pine City, I think that's going to continue to be key here tonight as Braham trying to add back with a 3. Ooh, and it's good, and they're getting on the board quickly. Olivia Heikus with a 3 there for the Bombers. And if you're Pine City, not necessarily what you want to see, but it's not bad either. With it in the far side corner, that's Summer Thiemann. We talk about how she's improved all year long, and it's been impressive to watch. Quick start for both of these squads. Lottie will give it inside to Klepper, and nice job by Klepper to force that foul. Well, the Braham players wanted a travel call, but it was not quite a travel call. She did get that ball off before that third step, and they're going to call Nicole Duvernay for the foul, and it's Mallory Klepper at the line to shoot 2 for the Dragons. First one's up and good from Mallory Klepper. She'll tie the game at 3. And a little too strong on that one. Jusak trying to grab the rebound but couldn't. And we're tied at 3. And this ball is going to be stolen away by Summer Thiemann. She'll take it to the net. No good. And Duvernay is going to grab that rebound. Back the other way, and it's Heikus who will get the 2 to drop. 5-3. Bombers with the lead. Heikus, I watched her in one of the games that Braham played against North Branch Rush City, and I thought she was a much more dangerous player than what the stats had showed. She's a very good player, and pass is going to be stolen away. Not ideal for the Dragons as Rysdam will give it off here to Zimpel for 2. Rysdam got the steal and get it inbounded here to Jusak. Jusak in trouble. She's going to have to get it up the court here to Klepper. Nice job by Klepper, realizing she was in the backcourt. Didn't want to get that backcourt violation, or over and back, I should say. Now Summer Thiemann for 3. That's a big 3 from Thiemann because that keeps them within 1 of that lead. As we like to affectionately call her, Summer Thiemann, and then Thiemann with the steal, and she got fouled, and I think she might be thinking to herself, no, referee, let that one go. I had a fast break opportunity. So it will be on Zimpel, the second team foul for Braham. Now, Taylor, I know in that last game against Ogilvie that we called, Pine City kind of piled up the fouls quickly, and so far here, a little bit better, of course, still early on. But they forced 2 fouls early here by Braham, so they've got to be feeling good about that part of it at least.
Yeah, definitely getting those 2 fouls, not on you and on the other team. That's definitely whew. Yes.
Certainly, as the Dragons will get it inbounded, it was poked out by the Bombers. They'll go inside, and Jusak has to do a circus act to get that ball just to stay with her. She couldn't get the rebound as Nicole Duvernay picks it up. I don't know how Jusak got that one, but she used that wingspan of hers to keep it alive, but and couldn't get her own rebound. And right now for Pine City, it seems like they're a little bit on edge here, Taylor. Their shots aren't falling as smoothly as they'd like to see them, as Zimpel will line up for 3. That's going to be no good. And not only that, Braham's just getting every rebound right now. as well as Jusak. As I say that, Jusak gets that one. But it seems like, yeah, the Dragons just can't get those shots. Well, you know, I might just have to shut up and let you take over, because every time I try to speak, they just do the exact opposite of what I say, because there's a 3 from Carly Jusak. So forget that thought, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to get Aaron Zimpel, who takes up the court for Braham, to step on that sideline, and the ball will go back to Pine City. Checking in for the Dragons will be number 4, Paige Gray. She'll check in for the first time here tonight. She's going to see a little bit more of a significant role here tonight because of the injury to Piper Metling. Klepper's going to pop off a 3 right away. It's no good. And then it's last touched out of bounds by the Bombers. Davis went after it, and she just couldn't quite get in a good enough position to hold on to the rebound, so it will stay with the Dragons. And I think we're getting the shot clock to reset here. You know, got to give credit to the scorers table. That's something tough that's been implemented new this year. That's not easy to do. As now inbounded to Thiemann. Not quite the opportunity there. Duvernay's going to get the rebound. Duvernay is another one of them players who just, I mean, she just sets up in great position each and every time to grab a rebound, and she shows it off there as now the Bombers have it back. Davis with it. Davis trying to get around Thiemann. Thiemann saying absolutely not. She is absolutely closing the door on her. And then she'll look for a 3. That's going to be off the mark, and Jusak with the rebound. Jusak up the court with it, drifts to the far side, gives it off. Oh, and it goes through the hands of Gray. And that could be nerves for Gray, and that's okay. Checking in for the Bombers is number 23, Alex Rysdam. .14 minutes to go here in the first half. 9-7 is the Dragon lead. Oh, Vivian Lati overshot that one, and luckily Heikes misses the 3, and it's rebounded by Jusak. Klepper will take it up the court. Klepper is another one of the Dragons who's going to have a bigger role, but she loses it, and that will go out of bounds. And Taylor, I know you and I had talked again about the turnovers last game. The turnovers, specifically in the second half, were the big problem. And for the Dragons here in this one, I feel like that's got to be the biggest concern for them here tonight, is making sure to manage the turnovers.
Yeah, definitely. Just those, again, like those small little details that can help just a whole lot, can change the whole game. Alex
Rysdam scores a 2 there, and Dragons get up the court with it. Oh. I don't know about that one. They say it's a travel. She did pick up her foot, but I don't know if that was a travel per se. Either way, the Braham Bombers will get it back. Alex Rysdam dealing with it, trying to keep it with her team, but it was knocked out of bounds by Lati, but Rysdam hit it with her knee. So the Pine City Dragons will get it back. Again, we're tied at 9 now. Pine City Dragons do have the ball back. That shot no good. Taken away here by Rysdam. That's Morgan Rysdam who gets it back. And nearly lost it. And now leaving a wide open Zimpel. She felt the pressure. Shot is no good. Rebounded by Nicole Duvernay. And then her shot is no good. Rebounded by Brooke Boland. She'll get it up the court quickly to Thiemann. Thiemann keeps it alive, pushes it back around her back, but that's going to go into no man's land, and the Bombers will take back over. Checking into the game for the first time here tonight for the Dragons is number 15, Taylor Haney. Again, a lot of Dragons going to have to make big plays here tonight with Metling being out, but this is, Taylor, this is kind of an interesting spot for the Dragons. Obviously, you don't want to see as Haney gets a turnover and then Duvernay steals it right back. And then a 3 here from Alex Rysdam. That's going to be no good. Rebounded by Heikes. But as I was saying, if you're the Dragons, this is kind of an interesting spot because Metling is out, which you don't want to see, obviously. But you get a chance to see other players get a chance to get some valuable varsity minutes, and that is key for a team like this.
Yeah, definitely. Having those two younger players going just is showing them as well varsity time for next year when they get pulled up.
Rebound there by the Dragons. Taking it down the court is Jusak. She drops it in for 2. Duvernay has it. Duvernay nearly had it knocked out of her hand. She gives it off to Rysdam. That's Morgan Rysdam with it blocked by Carly Jusak and taken by Brooke Boland. Gives it to Klepper, now to Haney. Haney, top of the key, looking. She passes it to Boland. Boland on that far side. Now, she may not put up all the points all the time, but, man, is she she's only a sophomore, but she plays like a veteran. And then an absolute drained 3 by Carly Jusak over the defender to make it 14-9. That was a big shot there by Carly Jusak. But, again, Brooke Boland, she's made some very veteran-like plays in the last couple of games that we've talked about. That ball nearly stolen away by the Dragons. But Morgan Rysdam, as she went to get that ball from going back over the line, she stepped back over the line, so it's an over and back, and Pine City gets the ball back. And then we're going to get a timeout here by head coach Zach Loy. Whew. What have you thought so far of this game here, Taylor? It's been a fun one.
Yeah, it definitely has been. These teams are definitely great competitors for each other. We already know it's going to be a great game from the start.
And we'll take a look at that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard.
Embrace Orthodontics. Their doctors are committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Start today at embracemn.com.
14-9 is the Dragon lead on the scoreboard. The Dragons and Bombers getting a word of encouragement, and we've seen it early on already that both these teams can quickly score. They can quickly turn it around and get a score. But I feel like early on, too, both teams, I think you can obviously sense the tension, as it was for the Ogilvie game. But it just seems like both these teams are playing a little too fast right now, and it feels like they're not settling into the game, so to speak. So I think if I were the coaches, I'd say, hey, let's settle it down a little bit. Let's get our offense going, and then let's translate that into some good defense.
Yeah, definitely.
For the Dragons, they do have it out of the timeout. Klepper left alone from 3. She's going to take one, and it's no good. Jusak couldn't quite reel it in, and Zimpel's going to grab it. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, Jusak can't reel it in. How is that? Well, she's being double-teamed, ladies and gentlemen. Anytime she's underneath the basket, she's being double-teamed. So it's not easy to grab that rebound. Everyone else has a chance at it, too. And we're going to get a foul call, the first on Pine City. That one's going to go against Paige Gray, so only their first, but it will send Madison Davis to the line for 2. First one, no good.
Those free throw line shots are just the most crucial points that you can get. They're the easiest points that you can get. Well, I wouldn't say easiest, but they're they're probably the nicest points that you can get, and then it just brings you back up.
I would certainly agree, because we've seen it in the last game too. Pine City kind of struggled in the second half with those free throws, and that's kind of what led to them, or I should say Ogilvie, kind of taking the lead and kind of walking away with that one. So, Pine City struggled from that line there in that game, and that'll be something they look forward to trying to improve, and they get quickly into their own zone, and then, that's just a great play by Madison Davis. She read that one like a book, but that's got to be a smarter pass there from Vivian Lottie, sadly, as that one is turned over, stolen away by the Bombers. Shot is up, no good. Jusak may have gotten a hand on it, taken by Vivian Lottie on the rebound. They'll give it off to Jusak. Jusak takes it up on the far side of the court, drifts towards the top of the key, gives it off to Lottie. Lottie, she'll drift towards the top of the key. She'll give it off to Haney on the far side. Haney thought about the long 3, wanted to take it. Instead, she'll give it to Boland, now on the near side to Vivian Lottie. Guarded 3, that's no good. Jusak can't reel it in. It's Davis with the rebound. Davis backs it up, waits for the offense to get set, gives it inside to Zimpel. Zimpel back outside. It looks like Braham's trying to set up that perimeter shot, and Davis, there it is for 3. No good. That's going to be knocked out of bounds. That should be Pine City ball. It is. Braham right now looking to try and set up that 3. I think what Braham's trying to do right now, Taylor, is they're trying to get somewhat of a dagger to this Pine City momentum. I think they want to kind of take any confidence that Pine City has right now and turn it in their favor. But right now, Pine City does have that lead, and that's what's helping. Haney for 3, backboard shot, no good. It's Duvernay with the rebound. Again, she's just always in good position. Alex Rysdam has it for the Bombers, gives off to the far side to Morgan, now to Madison Davis. Davis with it, gets around one defender. Thiemann there, and She had a hand on it, unfortunately, and that will send Davis to the line again for 2. So Summer Thiemann with her first. Approaching that halfway mark in this first half. 4-point difference as Davis at the line to shoot 2. That one again off the front of the rim. Checking in for the first time here tonight for the Bombers is number 22. It's going to be Jenna Beck. She had a pretty good game last time I called a game for the Bombers. And then for the Dragons, checking back in is Mallory Klepper. Davis, 1 of 2 that time as well. But here come the Dragons, 14-11, quickly up the court. Klepper has it, trying to drive inside, backs it out to Bolin, top of the key here to Jusak. That's an extra long 3. It comes up just short. And that's a case where I feel like maybe Jusak could have taken a step towards the perimeter or maybe even found another shot. That was, not that she can't make the shot, obviously, Taylor, but maybe just find a better shot selection. That shot no good, but somehow Davis allowed to get her own rebound and then stolen away by Summer Thiemann. That's huge. Thiemann will give it off to Bolin. Bolin to the near side corner. Bolin looking, going inside underneath the basket. Vivian Lottie. What a play by Vivian Lottie. She just set up right where she was supposed to be and made the play. Quickly up the court, though, come the Bombers. Zimpel gets it from Davis. Davis gets it back from Zimpel, now to Morgan Rysdam. Rysdam to Alex Rysdam, now underneath the basket to Davis. Davis trying to get it underneath, and Morgan Rysdam left all alone. That was just a good play call there by the Bombers because Morgan Rysdam, I mean, can't leave her open like that. She's going to convert. Bolin underneath the basket, gives it off to Lottie and Jusak. Wow, what a play, but yeah, that it really had no chance. It's going to be stolen away by Madison Davis, and that could really shift momentum. Oh, and Jusak did not obviously mean to do that. That'll be a foul on Jusak. It was a good ball fake there by Madison Davis, and Jusak jumped to try and make the block and landed on top of Davis. Again, not purposeful, but is what happened. And again, Davis will miss the first one. Look at another new player in. It's going to be number 2, Avery Schockman. And this time, she will not get the second one to fall. Rebounded by Klepper. Here come the Dragons. Lottie will hand it to Klepper. Klepper, top of the key, drives inside, trying to get that shot off, but it was partly blocked and taken by Morgan Rysdam. She takes up the court quickly, tried to get it off to Davis on the far side. That pass just in front of her reach, and it will stay, or go back, rather, to the Dragons. 7:46 to go here in this first half. Thiemann inbounds to Bolin. And we've seen both these offenses now get to a little bit of a cold spell here, Taylor, but again, feels like both these teams might be pressing just a little bit to try and get those points to fall. And again, it looks more or less like you said, more of a defensive game here in this first half.
Yeah, definitely. I like to use the word, they're playing they're playing tight. So that means like their muscles are tight, they're not relaxed, and they're not in the game. So then that causes them to kind of be chaotic and stuff like that.
I think that's a great way to put it. They are playing a little bit tight. They don't seem relaxed. They don't seem confident in the game. I think that's a really good way you put it. A missed shot was rebounded by Jusak. She could not get it to fall, but then it was knocked out of bounds by the Bombers, and she tries to drive in. She was triple teamed. It was knocked out of her hands, stolen away by Heikes. They're going to have to find a way to get her open because right now, I mean, all they're doing is crashing in on Jusak. So that could leave a spot open outside. Now it's stolen away by Mallory Klepper. That was a beautiful steal. Klepper finds a lane. Oh, and then a bad pass stolen there by Avery Schockman. Klepper, I know she was trying to be a good teammate and give it off to one of her teammates, but I think in that situation she needs to hold on to the ball and try and draw a foul. And now Jusak knocked it out. I think Jusak thought that one was going to go a little bit more of a lob shot towards the basket because she swatted it, but instead of grabbing the rebound, obviously she didn't mean to do that. Quick timeout called here by the Pine City Dragons. While they take timeout, we'll take a look at that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard.
Embrace Orthodontics, custom light force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. You can find them at embracemn.com.
It has been a tight one here in this game, and I think as the defenses are not playing bad per se, but I think it's more or less that the offense is, like you mentioned, not being relaxed. They're playing tight. So I think I don't think we've necessarily seen what these two defenses can do. I don't think we've seen the full skill set yet from the defenses. I think the offenses, again, going back to what you said, are playing a little bit tight. I don't think they're at all relaxed in this game quite yet. And I think once these two teams settle into the game more, it's going to look very different.
Definitely. Once they go, I bet it'll happen second half, and it's going to be fast momentum, faster pace, and more points being shot up.
Yeah, and so far, pretty good defensive battle here on the scoreboard. Only 16-13 under that halfway point here in the first half. Zach Loy and Patrick Judd get their words from their teams, and they're back out onto the court. But it will be inbounded to the Bombers. Schockman gets it from Davis. She'll give it off to Duvernay. Duvernay trying to drive inside. She'll back it out to Schockman. Schockman traveled with it. Now, we've only seen 5 fouls here in this first half between the two teams, and it hasn't been, they have kind of let them play, but that travel call, they're pretty quick to get that travel call here tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
It's Thiemann who takes it up the court, gives off to Klepper on the far side, trying to go inside to Jusak, and she goes up and over everybody, pulls it down, and drops it in for 2. There's something, I just can't speak enough on how well Carly Jusak does with that. She gets triple team, ladies and gentlemen, so she has 3 sets of hands in her way to try and get to the ball, and she pulls it down. As we see a pass go away from the Bombers, it will go back to the Dragons. But yes, you might say, well, she's the tallest player on the court, so she should be able to. Well, go outside right now. Have 3 other people line up under you that are a little bit shorter, but put their hands right in your way of that ball. And still try and get it. It is not as easy as it looks, especially in a game where you're trying to make sure you do everything right. As Thiemann will give it to Jusak, back to Thiemann. She wanted that 3. Instead, she'll drive inside. She has no fear, and she drops it in for 2. You talk about, just an incredible play. Thiemann, not one of the taller players, but she has no fear. She is the definition of not any fear. Good passing here by the Bombers. A reverse layup, no good. It's going to be Mallory Klepper. Oh, that was a smart move by Klepper. She established herself inbounds. She let that ball bounce one more time so she could set her feet and reestablish herself inbounds. What a smart play by Klepper. You want to talk about a veteran play. There it is. And as this season goes along, Taylor, we're seeing a lot of these players make more and more veteran plays. And I got to imagine, if you're a coach, you got to feel really good about the direction of the team. As a miscommunication there, bad miscommunication is going to lead to a Bomber steal. They thought that they had somebody inside. No one was there but Davis for the Bombers. And Thiemann nearly got the steal. Instead, it does get to Davis. Jusak does get the block, but a battle for it from the Dragons kind of leads them out of bounds. Klepper had a hold of it, but she stepped on that baseline and was out of bounds. So it will stay with the Bombers. And again, she had her hands up, so that's why it was not a foul. You have from the court to the ceiling if your hands are up. So that is not a foul unless your hands go over the top. This ball, and trying to keep it alive. Wow, they do. Morgan Rysdam prevented it from an over and back and got it to Madison Davis. Davis will just take it from the free throw line. She's left open, and she'll drop it in from there. Yeah, you can't give Davis any kind of room like that, any kind of cushion. She's going to drop those in. Thiemann off to Gray now, to Lottie. Lottie wants that 3, but instead gives it off to Klepper. Just not open enough now. Jusak has it. Jusak wants to drive inside. Instead gives it to Gray. On the far side for Thiemann. Thiemann for 3. Summer Thiemann tuning into that Summer Thiemann. Call it her X factor, if you will. She just does so well from outside, inside, anywhere. She has just improved so much. You got to say, and you can say that for every single member of this Pine City team. Just incredible to watch. Bombers do have it back. They'll give it outside. Morgan Rysdam, and that pass goes just out of her reach. So we'll go back to the Dragons, and it looks like we get a timeout here by the Bombers. And yeah, that timeout you could kind of sense coming. The Bombers, it just feels like they're a little bit off their mark right now, and you talk about being relaxed. It seems like Pine City's kind of relaxed a little bit, but it seems like the Bombers are still forcing things right now.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely tell that the Dragons are taking a deep breath and going into this game, or after that timeout at least, going into that game and just relaxing and telling themselves, or telling themselves, we got another half. Might as well just relax now before it gets hard in the second half.
Absolutely. And with the timeout, we'll take another look at that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard.
Embrace Orthodontics. They will do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. And if you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget. Find them at embracemn.com.
They've got a beautiful brand new building over in Cambridge. It's not quite done being built, but it is close. So it does look like a beautiful building, though, I will say that. Pine City and Braham going at it again. The winner is going to really put themselves in a good spot to keep pace for that conference crown. Of course, if Braham wins and then Pine City wins against Ogilvie later in the season, it would be a three-way tie because each team would have beat each other once, and they would have 2 losses in the conference. So it would be a three-way tie. I don't know how they would go at it from there, but I think it would just be a three-way tie. But if Pine City wins tonight, they'd have to beat Ogilvie for the conference crown later in the season. Summer Thiemann has it back for the Dragons, gives it off to Gray, now to Klepper. Klepper wants the 3. They're going to get an illegal screen on Lottie. Or a push or something. I mean, they were quick to that whistle, my goodness. Patrick Judd, their Dragons head coach, is asking, what in the world? So, yeah, it's going to be on Lottie, her first, and Judd kind of confused as I am. Quickly up the court, they go to Hikus, and Hikus looks. She'll give it to Davis. Davis going to reset things for the offense, give it off on the near side here to Zimpel. Zimpel gives it inside to Duvernay. Duvernay looking. She gives it back outside Morgan Risam. Can't leave her alone. Oh, but the Dragons get lucky on that shot as she goes wide on that one. It'll go out of bounds, and it will stay or go back to the Dragons. Boland in for Gray. Under 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Summer Thiemann with it, trying to get around the defender, Davis. She gives it off to Boland. Boland in the near side corner gives it off to Klepper. Klepper will give it back to Thiemann. Thiemann on the elbow, looking at the basket for 3, but she decides to give it to Jusak. Jusak to Lottie. Lottie pauses, holds the ball overhead, gives it to Boland. Boland will drift towards the top of the key. Sets up the offense. Looks for the play, gets a screen from Jusak, trying to draw towards the basket. Instead, gives it back outside to Lottie. Now to Boland, 5 seconds to shoot. They'll go inside to Jusak, puts it up and in for 2. You can't say enough about the effort that Jusak gives on those because, I mean, that's just simply not easy to do.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you're going down on the clock and just 5 seconds left. It's not easy.
Davis with a shot from 3. Klepper's going to get the rebound. Ooh, could have been a foul call on the defender, but they'll get it up the court quickly to Thiemann. She stops, let the defender go by. Oh, and just misses on the 3. Hikus will get the rebound. I think Thiemann had a little bit more time than she thought. That was a nice stop, though, on that one. I think she could have taken at least one more breath to take a look at that basket, but the Bombers have it back with 2:05 to go. Davis will drive inside. That she was left alone, and Boland, that was a smart play by Boland. She let her get the shot, but she still defended it without drawing the foul. That's a smart play by her. As the Dragons have it back, it's Klepper. Klepper wanted to go inside to Jusak, but she was guarded well. She'll give it off to Lottie instead. It's knocked out of bounds by Zimpel, and it will stay with the Dragons. Under 2 minutes to go, 25-17. Dragons will get set to inbound. Lottie looks. She'll give it to Klepper. Klepper starts to the near side elbow. She'll put it up from 3. It's no good. And rebounded there by Zimpel. She has a lane to the basket. They'll give it off to Duvernay, and she drops it in for 2. It just didn't look like the Dragons' transition defense was ready. They just didn't have an answer there. No one was back in time, unfortunately, and it was way too easy. But, again, great passing by the Bombers. Jusak has it. She'll give it off now to and another whistle. Another push or shove, or I don't know all the foul terms, but some that went against Pine City. And now, Taylor, we had the case of where Pine City was feeling relaxed. They were feeling good. But now all of a sudden they've got a few fouls on offense, and now the Bombers have a chance to come back. Duvernay showing off the range from 3, 25-22, and all of a sudden, there it is. That momentum may be slipping. Boland looks. She'll give it off to Klepper. Klepper going to go inside that one. Oh, how is that not a foul on Juice? Well, Zimpel's going to steal it away. Jusak had a hand right go to her chin. No foul was called on it. Aaron Zimpel will drive. Oh, they're going to get a foul on that one. I'm going to respectfully disagree. Now all of a sudden the foul's starting to pile up. Aaron Zimpel at the line for 2. And she drops it in. So 25-23, 42 seconds to go in this first half. And Zimpel drops them both in. Boland takes up the court for the Dragons. She'll give it off to Klepper. Game clock and shot clock separated by about 6 seconds. Lottie over to Thiemann. Now to Klepper. Klepper left alone. She thought about the 3. Instead she pulls it down, gives it to Thiemann. Thiemann going to drive inside. Back out to Lottie. Now to Klepper. Klepper gives it to Boland. Boland looking. Gives it to Klepper. Klepper. Now to Thiemann. Thiemann dribbles behind the back. Lost the dribble. And it's going to be stolen away by Duvernay. And not a good spot here for the Dragons, as this is going to be no good. And they drop it in, and that's going to be it for the first half. That is not the way you want to end the half if you're Pine City. Absolutely terrible way to end the half. And just like that, the momentum has, unbelievably swung in the blink of an eye. And the Bombers going to halftime leading 26-25. Take a look at that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard.
Embrace Orthodontics. Your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom light force braces or Invisalign clear aligners. Find out more at embracemn.com.
Braham has a 1-point lead at half. We'll be back after word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to Girls Basketball on WCMP.
BRB, B4N, period 02, BF, 143, AAK, 1AM, apostrophe S, apostrophe.
These are 2 teenage girls texting each other, and we have no idea what they're saying either. Maybe the WCMP deals guy can translate.
This week, grab $10 tickets to the Duluth Sports Show. Grilling seminars from Mad Dog and Merrill. Dexter the dog that learned to walk like a human, and more. Only $10.
No, I don't think that's what they were saying at all. But find these and other great deals at WCMPradio.com/deals. WCMPradio.com/deals. OMG, TTYL. Money sign, heart emoji.
Everyone knows there are great places to play in northwestern Wisconsin, but did you know there are great places to work? Burnett Dairy Cooperative is just outside of Grantsburg, Wisconsin, and offers numerous career options with a wide variety of responsibilities, schedules, and growth opportunities. Some positions may include CDL driver, cheese production, and seasonal workers. Burnett Dairy Cooperative has competitive wages, 401k, profit sharing, and many other great benefits. Be part of our herd. Visit BurnettDairy.com and click on Careers.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
This can be the loneliest sound, and it's never the right time. Car in the ditch, you standing by the side of the road. Thank goodness Hinckley Towing is on the way. 24-hour service, experienced drivers, and state-of-the-art trucks. Put their number in your phone before you need it. Hinckley Towing, 320-385-4049. 320-385-4049.
AOML. BRB. B4N. Period O2. BF. 143. AAK. 1 AM. Apostrophe S apostrophe.
These are two teenage girls texting each other, and we have no idea what they're saying either. Maybe the WCMP Deals guy can translate.
This week, grab $10 tickets to the Duluth Sports Show. Fishing seminars, hundreds of exhibitors. You can even get your deer scored. All for only $10.
No, I don't think that's what they were saying at all. But find these and other great deals at WCMPradio.com/deals. WCMPradio.com/deals. OMG, TTYL. Money sign, heart emoji.
Introducing the Red Runner 2017 Deluxe Firewood Processor. This Canadian-assembled, all-in-one, towable firewood solutions capable of producing 3 face cords per hour. The Red Runner comes equipped with a powerful 18-inch Oregon chainsaw bar, 10-foot-long adjustable conveyor, 2, 4, or even 6-way adjustable splitter head. Fits logs up to 12 feet long and 16 inches in diameter. This high-performance personal firewood processor is powered by a Honda GX390 industrial engine, found only at Stan's Equipment Center in Pine City.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
Hey, you looking for a reliable propane supplier? Look no further than Burnett Dairy Propane. Proud to serve you, providing top-notch propane services all year round, offering convenient delivery options and flexible payment plans that suit your schedule and budget. Trust the experts in the field, Burnett Dairy Propane. Call them today at 715-689-1032 or visit them online at burnettdairy.com. Burnett Dairy Propane, your dependable propane partner.
The saga continues. We now know with certainty that Kidney Stone will return for Season 5, Part 2, its final episodes, in November 2024. The same love story.
No one messes with my girl.
Oh, Bip, I love you.
Trying to save the ranch.
It's got the best pole shed in Kanabec County.
And of course,
this week, get a $25 gift card to Doc's Sports Bar and Grill in Sturgeon Lake. Almost half off. Or you're going to the train station.
Let's take them to the train station.
WCMPradio.com/deals. WCMPradio.com/deals. Save now, but wait to watch what used to be your favorite show and everybody was talking about it. Now it's kind of lost its momentum.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Aw, man. Hinckley Collision.
Hell no. My new car?
Hinckley Collision is the right decision. Fender benders, major accident damage, or hail damage. Hinckley Collision is the right decision. With 24/7 towing and fast, friendly, professional service, their collision department will get you back on the road in no time. With decades of experience dealing with insurance carriers, make the call today. 320-384-7002. 320-384-7002.
Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like learning how that printer works. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Back here at halftime in Pine City, the Bombers lead 26-25. First half stats, the Bombers were led by Madison Davis with 6, And then 5 for Hikus and Duvernay, 4 for Zimpel and Rysdam, and 2 for Alex Rysdam. They were led in rebounds by Duvernay with 5. And then they were 4 for 8 from the free throw line, so 50%. They'll look to improve that. They had 9 steals in the first half with only 2 fouls. So Taylor and I had talked earlier in the first half where it was nice. They got the fouls to go on Braham's side, but then all of a sudden Pine City kind of piled them on. As looking at their side, they had 6 in that first half. Jusac led the Dragons with 14 points. Then Summer Thiemann with 8, 2 for Lottie and 1 for Klepper. Of course, Jusac led them with 6 rebounds, but 4 for Klepper. They were 50% from the free throw line, 1 for 2. They had 6 steals, 2 blocks, and of course 6 fouls, as I mentioned. So, Taylor, what is the key here in this second half to success for the Dragons? Because late in that first half, it did not look pretty.
Yeah, definitely. Like I was saying, they're playing tense, and they just need to relax. So if they just relax and just play their game, they're going to be unstoppable. And then also just, like, picking up the defense. We had a bunch of missed threes that, like, maybe we can just get a couple of 2s, and then right after that, like, get up a little bit and then go for those 3s. But really just focusing on their defense, and then or offense, and then their defense, I'd say it's been doing pretty good, except screens and stuff like that. But otherwise, I think that they're not pressing too hard, but they're pressing enough to where it's a hard time to try to adjust and try to find find places to shoot.
And they certainly have done really well here throughout the game. Both defenses really have, but late in that first half with under 10 seconds to go, it was all Braham, and they swung momentum fully in their favor. And once again, Taylor with a correct prediction, a defensive first half. She's, again, ladies and gentlemen, I keep telling you, but I'm not joking. She's going to take my job. She will take my job. It's 26-25, again, a defensive first half. But I agree with Taylor how she said, I think in the second half, if we can see a little bit more relaxation from these teams, it's going to be, I think we're going to see a lot more scoring than we did in half number 1. Half number 2 is set to begin, and we'll quickly take a look at that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard.
Embrace Orthodontics. Leave with a smile you will embrace forever. Find out more at embracemn.com.
Bombers will start with here to begin half number 2. Davis with it, gives it to Zimpel. Zimpel trying to go inside to Davis. Davis on the baseline, and she held it for a little bit, but then just couldn't keep it going. And Thiemann! That's a big one to begin half number 2. She's fouled, plus the and 1. That's a big shot there by Summer Thiemann. The steal, and then she dropped it in for 2. Morgan Rysdam, the guilty Braham Bomber player. So Thiemann. And, she got it to fall. Got that friendly bounce. She needed all of it. And it's 28-26. That's a big play there, but now Hikus for 3. And no surprise, she dropped it. And that's kind of what we've seen at the end of the first half. Pine City just left. Their defense just couldn't seem to get back in time, and then they were leaving players open from 3, and we've seen 2 threes dropped right away as Thiemann comes back and says, not so fast, not so fast. But, Pine City's defense just couldn't seem to get back in time, and we see 2 threes, which gave Braham that 26-25 lead. But now the Bombers have it back. Zimpel gives it to Morgan Rysdam, now to Hikus, back to Morgan Rysdam, and there you go again. Morgan Rysdam was left open. She'll drive to the basket. Shot is up, no good. Jusac going to get the rebound. Ooh, that probably should have been a foul call. They're going to say jump ball, and possession arrow favors the Dragons, but you can hear the moaning and groaning from the crowd because more than likely was a foul, but they decided to call a jump ball instead. But the Dragons do get it. Klepper with it to Boland. Boland now over to Thiemann. Thiemann, spin move, gives it off to Klepper, left alone from 3. That's good! Mallory Klepper from 3. 33-29. Zimpel with it. Zimpel, bounce pass inside to Duvernay. Ball's up for grabs. Ball on the floor. Jump ball position will continue to stay with Braham as they have the possession arrow facing their direction. And as Taylor pointed out to me here at halftime, we've got some interesting folks in the crowd here tonight. Ogilvy keeping a close eye on what's happening. They're saying, hey, we got the night off. We're going to come scout a little bit in case we need to know what we got to do come. I think they play Pine City next week. Or is it? Yeah, I think it's next week when they play Pine City, or the week after. But that's going to be, could wind up being the decision on the conference as Brooke Bowling gets a steal. But very interesting to see that they are here. Maybe I shouldn't be as surprised, but very cool to see. Now Brooke Bowling gets a pass from Lottie. No good. And no surprise, it's Duvernay with the rebound. She's, again, just been in great position all night long. I mean, she just does such a good job of setting herself up in the best position to get a rebound. Poked out by Jusak. It'll go out of bounds and stay with the Bombers. And one of the things that might be troubling the Dragons a little bit is that Jusak has 2 fouls, which she has still 3 to give. But the way that the Dragons get the fouls sometimes, they kind of pile them on in a lot of spots here, Taylor. So sometimes it might seem like a little bit of a tough spot for the Dragons just because, yeah, sometimes the Dragons kind of tend to pile on the fouls. That shot is up, no good. It's going to be Jusak with another rebound, and Jusak will bring it up the court here for Pine City. She'll give it off to Bolin. Bolin thought about 3 dribbles around the defender and tried to give it inside. That was unfortunately just a bad pass, and it's stolen away by Morgan Rysdam. She had 3 defenders on her one teammate, and no chance of her teammate getting to that one. So the ball will get back to the Bombers. Zimpel with it off to Rysdam on the far side. She's going to drive inside. Jusak is there. Somehow Rysdam held on to the ball. She'll pass it back outside to Hikes. Hikes looking to Duvernay at the top of the key. We know she can shoot it from there. She gives it underneath to Hikes. Hikes back outside. Davis left alone from 3. Can't leave them alone. They will kill you from there, and they did. And I think Pine City just got caught up in trying to defend one player and completely forgot about Davis on that near side elbow. And, I mean, she made him pay. That's just a good play. Bolin gets the pass from Jusak now over to Lottie. Lottie wanted Thiemann. Instead gives it off far side to Klepper. Klepper's going to put up a shot from 3. That's going to be off the mark. Rebounded by Davis. And quickly up the court. Aaron Zimpel has it blocked by Mallory Klepper. And Klepper kind of following in the shoes of Carly Jusak. I think she'll probably take over Jusak's role next year. She looks very much like the player that Jusak is. That'll be very cool to see Klepper be able to take over that spot. Inbound pass. Well, they tried to get it off of the foot of the defender. They does Braham. It will go out of bounds, but they got to be careful because Klepper almost had that one. 14:22 to go. It's a 1-point difference here between these two teams. Pine City has that 1-point lead. Inbound to Hikes on the far side for Zimpel. Zimpel's going to go around the defenders to Duvernay for 3, and that is just off the mark. Morgan Rysdam. Oh, a foul on that one. Oh, my goodness. Rysdam got the rebound, but then they get a foul on Pine City, and, you know, that's interesting because they got that a foul, but then we had one kind of similar to that where Jusak got the rebound, but it was a jump ball call instead of the foul.
Mm-hmm.
And again, not picking on the referees, I'm just saying what I see. And maybe I don't see it. Maybe I'm just thinking I see it. No good on the shot there from Zimpel. It's going to be Jusak with the rebound. Jusak quickly up the court, outside on the far side to Bolin, and then to Vivian Lottie, back inside to Jusak, and that ball, they're going to say it was a foul. That's going to go against Duvernay. Only her second. She's got plenty to give. But Jusak is going to go to line and shoot 2 now. 13:54 to go here in the second half. Jusak good on the first. And Jusak good on both. 35-32. Braham wastes no time getting up the court. You got to admire the pace here, Taylor, by Braham. Even when it seems like, man, they're a little bit tired, a little bit behind, their offense continues to roll that pace, and they do a really good job.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You could definitely tell when Dragons just got those free throws that they were, like, ready, like, hand me it, hand me it, hand me it.
And a shot no good there by Jusak, rebounded by Morgan Rysdam. Jusak hit the deck hard. But she's up, and she races back down the court, but here come the Bombers once again. It's Davis, no good on the shot. Jusak right there for the rebound. She'll give it off to Bolin. Bolin will try and turn on the Jets. She'll give it off into the near side to Lottie, back to Bolin. Bolin looking, gives it to Thiemann. Thiemann looking, calling out the offense, gives it off to Klepper. Klepper on the near side elbow, back to Thiemann. Thiemann looking, she gets a screen from Jusak. Now over to Bolin. Bolin on the far side to Klepper. Going inside to Lottie, back outside to Klepper. Klepper for three. That's good! Klepper showing she can do it both inside and out, and nice shot there by her. Oh, and they left Madison Davis alone for three. Oh, a rare miss there by the Bombers, but it's not going to be rebounded by the Dragons. Bolin couldn't keep it in herself. She was just out of position on the rebound, and it will stay with the Bombers, and that could come back to bite the Dragons. These are kind of the small things, Taylor, you and I talked about, that the Dragons really need to have go their way, because those are the things that kind of, against Ogilvie, kind of led to what Ogilvie turned them into the lead and then wound up being a win. Bombers doing a good job passing this ball around, trying to find a crease to the basket, but so far, then Davis left alone from three, and another miss, but it's going to be out of bounds, last touch by the Bombers. Or, excuse me, by the Dragons. So we'll stay with the Bombers. 38-32. Dragons with the lead. Clock resets to 20. Simple will look to inbound. Bounce pass to Duvernay, knocked out of bounds by Jusak. So the Bombers will get set to do it again. And again, a lot to think about in this game here for both of these teams. But like you mentioned, just got to try and concentrate on the game itself. And how hard is that to do when it's a closer game like this?
It's hard to not think about the future and what it's going to bring you. Mm-hmm. So really, you have to bring yourself back to reality. You have to think about what it's going to happen. Yeah, and so far both these teams trying to do a good job of keeping themselves in. And a shot from three, no good by Thiemann. Rebounded by Lottie, and then an absolute interception by Morgan Rysdam. Almost a travel. She got it out to Duvernay before that third step. And Duvernay will give it back to Rysdam. Rysdam gets around the defenders, and she loses it right into Thiemann's arms. Thiemann with the fast break offense. Couldn't get that one to fall. Rebounded by Jusak. She gets fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot two. As Jusak will go to the line to shoot two, we'll see. That one's going to go against Morgan Rysdam, her second, team's third. And Jusak at the line for two. That one's good. And again, we talked about these free throws, how important these are, and how Pine City kind of struggled in that Ogilvie game. But here, now well over 50%, as they are now 4 for 5 in the game, and make it 5 for 6 now. That made free throw from Carly Jusak. So we'll get a timeout here, I assume, by Braham. And before we get a word from our Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics. Their doctors are committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Start today at embracemn.com.
And again, Taylor, this has been a fun one. The second half has had, the game itself has had a lot of ebbs and flows. Mm-hmm. But the second half has really kind of been back and forth. Early on, Dragons got out and kind of got back the lead, extended a little bit, but then Braham came back, got within a couple again, and now since then it's been kind of Pine City's game. They've kind of got momentum. So for either side, what do they need to do to try and hold on to momentum and try and pull away?
Just having really hard and not too hard, but of a good defense. Mm-hmm. So you want to have that good defense that you're pushing and pressing, but you're not pressing too hard to where you're fouling every single one. Right. Yeah, because, again, Pine City, they want to avoid those. Braham only has 3 here in the second half. They had 2 in the first half, so a total of 5 now for the Bombers. Pretty clean game by the Bombers. They piled up too quickly in that first half, but since then it was nothing. And Pine City got 6. Bombers do have the ball.
Passing it around. Again, they're doing a good job passing. So far, Pine City hasn't allowed anybody to get open. And, yeah, kickball there by Summer Thiemann. That was close, but Thielen, you can't quite use your foot in basketball like you can volleyball. Trying to take a page out of that volleyball book there, and referee caught her that time. If they didn't, she was gonna have another fast break opportunity, but she was caught that time. Maybe next time they won't catch it. Bombers do have it back off of the kickball, and Morgan Rysdam gives it inside to Duvernay, off on the far side to Zimpel. That is Alex Rysdam. No good. She's going to get her own rebound, and then she's fouled. Now that one was a foul. We're going to get Klepper. That's her first. And now Taylor, even though they got a foul there, I think it's important that, and they probably aren't trying, obviously, to get fouls, but I think it's important that players who don't have a foul are getting the fouls if someone has to.
Yeah, definitely, because when you're later in the game and you already have so many people who have foul, like there's only like 3 people that have 3 or 4 fouls, you want to back off and let the other people get the fouls too.
Right. Madison Davis made the defender miss, put up a shot from 2. It's no good. Carly Jusak gets the rebound. Not quite a fast break opportunity. She'll give it to Thiemann. Thiemann back inside to Jusak, and no good on that one. Alex Rysdam going to get the rebound. That was a tough shot. Jusak had a hand on the ball and could not quite drop that ball in. As now Madison Davis has it for the Bombers, trying to show off her handles, trying to get around Thiemann. She gets a screen. Ooh, could have been an illegal screen as the offender. She moved her. You can't move into the player on the screen. That shot going to be no good. And Klepper comes up with the rebound and lost it. Duvernay going to get the steal. Duvernay is going to drive inside herself. Shot is no good. Jusak with the rebound. Jusak, a double-double now. Well, she's had a double-double for quite some time, but just realized it now. Klepper has it for the Dragons to Jusak, now to Lottie, trying to go inside to Klepper. Klepper, nice job. Dropping it in for 2. And again, Klepper, right there, that was a Carly Jusak play.
Yeah.
That was a Carly Jusak type play, but they said, hey, Klepper, your turn.
Yeah, definitely stepping right into her shoes.
Absolutely, and it's really cool to see that as Klepper, looking at the roster sheet, she is only a sophomore. Shot up from Rysdam, no good. I think she just kind of threw that one at the basket because she realized she was kind of going to travel, so she just gave that one off there. Boland will take it up the court for the Dragons. She gives it to Klepper, now to Thiemann. Thiemann's going to take a step back and kind of reset the offense here under halfway mark here in the second half. Klepper, she'll drive to the far side, trying to drive inside herself, puts up a shot towards the basket. It's no good. Duvernay with the rebound. I just can't say enough about how Duvernay has just put herself in a great spot all night long for those rebounds. Shot up by Zimpel, no good, and Jusak is going to get the rebound here for the Dragons. Boland up the court with it once again. Looks to a double team and then hands it to Thiemann. Thiemann calls out the offense. Actually, she looked to her head coach, then called out the offense, and Thiemann gets the pass back from Klepper. She gets a screen, wanted the 3, lobs it over to Boland at the top of the key. On the far side to Lottie. Now in the far side corner for Klepper for 3, no good. And that's a rarity there as Jusak gets the rebound. Lottie drives to the basket, drops it in for 2 plus the and 1. Vivian Lottie making a veteran-type play that time.
Those smart plays are just going to pump up the crowd and just get everybody on their feet. Man, that gave me chills.
That was a very smart play. Like you said, smart play by Vivian Lottie. What a play. That was on Erin Zimpel, the foul, and Lottie drops it in for the 3-point play. That's a big, big one. And we'll get a timeout here. Called again, I believe, by Braham, and that'll be their 3rd timeout of the game. They'll be left with 2. While we have a chance, we'll take a look at that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard.
Embrace Orthodontics. They will do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. And if you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget. Find them at embracemn.com.
Thanks to them and all the rest of our fine sponsors for sponsoring this and every other broadcast that we do. Of course, if it wasn't for them, we won't be able to come out here and call any of these games. So we appreciate Embrace and all of our other fine sponsors. And Taylor, what is the word right now that head coach Judd is giving to the Dragons? Because, I mean, obviously they're got a little bit of a roll right now, but what do you say to make sure that they continue with this, but also not try and, I don't want to say overcoach because I think that's the wrong term, but not do too much to change what's already going well?
You know, this kind of, I was talking with Mr. Wichter one of these days, and I asked
Great guy,
him,
by the way.
Yeah, definitely. And I was asking him, what did you say in the huddle when you were coaching basketball? And he said that he only gives them one thing to do, one thing to think about. Because you're in the game, you have the players on the bench who are thinking about whole different stuff. You give them one instruction for them to think about that whole thing. So I really think Judd is just talking about how they should just keep the momentum going and try not to let them kind of stop you. And I just thought it was pretty cool just to hear like a coach.
Yeah.
Hear just a coach's view.
Yeah, that is very cool as we get a steal here by Brooke Boland. And I had Mr. Wichter for a couple of classes. I had him for civics, and then I also had him for, psychology. Pretty fun class with Mr. Wichter. We got to watch, what is that movie called? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I believe it is, with Jack Nicholson. What a great actor, by the way. Oh, Boland didn't realize the pass was coming to her, hit her in the face. Oh, my goodness. She appears to be okay, but now the ball is up for grabs. Ooh. They did not call a jump ball. Instead, they're going to say it's Braham ball. And I think Judd is a little bit upset with that because I think in his mind and in my mind, it looked like Lottie had tied up the ball.
Yeah, it did.
Well, either way, so now Pine City, I think this is a good spot for Pine City. They're going to have to find a way away from that adversity. Oh, left alone, Zimpel for three. And that is missed. Rebounded by Alex Rysdam. And then a foul there on Pine City. I don't know if that's going to be a shooting foul or on the floor. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, they're going to call it. Wow. They're going to call this one on Taylor Haney. They called that a shooting foul, but I didn't think Alex Rysdam was taking a shot yet. But she'll get this one up, and it's no good. Klepper will check back in for Brooke Boland on the Dragons side. 7:14 to go, 45-32 Dragons. And Bombers going at it here in this conference clash. Alex Rysdam, no good on both, and it's rebounded there by Mallory Klepper. Mallory Klepper is having a half. Haney gets the pass from Klepper now to Thiemann. Thiemann top of the key, sets the offense, gives it to Klepper. Klepper looking, gives it over to Thiemann. Thiemann faked it to Jusak, gets it to Jusak as she drives towards the basket. Jusak trying to get around the defender, gives it off to Haney. Over to Klepper. Klepper to Thiemann on the far side. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Now to Haney. Haney to Jusak. Jusak for three. It's good! Harley Jusak, a little fadeaway three. Brahmers, but again, they waste no time getting themselves up the court. Heikes with it. I thought she might take that one from three. Instead, she gives it to Duvernay. Now to Zimpel. Zimpel on the far side. Goes inside to Alex Rysdam. Turnaround shot. No good. They're going to get Lottie for the foul. That one was close. I think if you wouldn't have called it, it would have been a good call. If you did call it, it would have been a good call. It's one of those, either way you call it, it's a good call. Because it was close enough to where, yeah, you could have gotten it, but also couldn't have. So that's a tough one, but I think that is the correct one. They say Lottie has three. And I'm one off, I believe, on my count. Yeah, so she has, sadly, that's her third, so she'll get a little bit of a rest. As Alex Rysdam misses that one, but hits this one.
I was kind of going back to pregame, going in when you asked me what are their mindsets, or like what do you want to come into this game, and thinking about how these players are going in, thinking about how they're going to play how they're going to play us. Sorry.
Oh, no, go for it. You finish your thought.
Well, so like how they can play different positions for their team and what they need. And Carly Jusak has been there. She's been rebounding. She's been shooting those threes. She's been up there for the twos and all of that stuff.
Yeah, she's really kind of been like a Swiss Army knife, kind of just doing it all. As a block there by Klepper. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. But Klepper with another block. But yeah, I agree. She has kind of done it all. She's been that, again, kind of that Swiss Army knife player for the Dragons. Defense, offensively, she's done it all. And that's exactly what the Dragons need. A lob pass into Hikus, and Klepper just decides, hey, I'm going to let you take it because I don't need a foul. Smart play there by the Dragons. Bounce pass to Duvernay with under 10 seconds to shoot. They're going to have to find something. Shot no good. Oh, but a rebound there by Davis, and her shot is no good. Rebounded by Davis again. Shot, that's going to be well off the mark, but screeching in for the rebound is Zimpel to Duvernay. Nearly lost it. She's guarded well. She'll give it to Hikus from the free throw line. That's going to be no good, and nice job there by Brooke Bolin guarding, as that one's going to go out of bounds. And back to the Dragons. And another timeout called here by Braham. They'll be left with one. So quick, we'll take a look at that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard.
Embrace Orthodontics, custom light force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. You can find them at embracemn.com.
Now, they'll be left with one, and one of the things here in a situation like this, Taylor, is obviously Braham is going to be trying to, I don't want to say force more shots from outside or force even shots in general, but they're going to be putting up more shots than we have seen as of late because they are going to try and come back from this 15-point deficit. And sometimes that can work against a team, and sometimes that can work for them because if you're Pine City, if it happens like it did in the first half, well, we could all of a sudden see Braham go on a run.
Yep.
But if Braham does miss a few and Pine City can continue the way they are, Pine City should be able to hold on. But I think this last 5 minutes and 14 seconds, we're going to see a bunch of chaos.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna see a bunch of fouling. I feel like we're gonna see a lot more fouling. You're gonna see a lot more physical game because you can tell that both of these teams want this win.
Oh, they really do, and it is so important, and it's a rivalry game. You hit the nail right on the head with that one. Quickly up the court here for the Dragons. Bolin, a lob pass. It was tipped, but Bolin brings it down. Bolin drives inside over to Thiemann. Thiemann, no, thought about 3. She'll drive inside for the shot. No good. She draws the foul. And then again, I know I may sound like a broken record, but my goodness, the way Thiemann has just improved throughout her career, for her to draw a foul like that, 2 years ago she doesn't make a play like that, but because she knows the game inside and out and she knows what she needs to do, she draws a foul like that, realizing, hey, if I just take one more step, I'm getting this foul and I'm going to the line. Sadly, she does miss the first one, but she drops in the second one.
She reminds me of a player that she's a very coachable player in volleyball, basketball, and track, I believe she does. She's a very coachable player, and she wants to make adjustments to become a better athlete.
And as a coach, that's the type of player you want, is the coachable ones. That is blocked by Jusak. And Jusak will give it off to Thiemann. Thiemann will kind of reset the offense, give it to Lottie. Bolin, left alone. 3, good! Brooke Bolin for 3 is good. And again, she's not lighting up the stat sheet right now. She has 3 points. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, and a rebound. But she has 4 steals. So even though she's not lighting it up offensively, she still has 4 steals, which are huge because 3 of them have come in the second half. Left alone underneath the basket, and Zimpel will drop it in easily for 2, and that's something you can't have if you're the Dragons. They kind of lost sight there, but here comes Thiemann. Thiemann turning on the Jets, gets it to Klepper. She nearly lost it. Klepper gets it back to Thiemann. Thiemann thought about 3, gets it over to Boland, and Boland will look at it, and now a little bit of press here by the Bombers, and Klepper kept it, and it's going to be stolen away. A little bit of odd man rush here for the Bombers, and Davis, I think she's going to be fouled. They're going to get Thiemann. Only her second, so that's okay, but it is their team 6. Now, if you're Pine City, if you put the Bombers in the bonus with your 7th foul, I feel like that could change things a little bit and go into the Braham favor just because, well, then you're sending him to the free throw line at any foul. Just like that. There it is. That's the 7th. And it's a shooting foul, so it'll send Zimpel to line for 2. And they're going to get, that's going to be Lottie's 4th. That's tough. She got the start tonight because of Metling being out. She's done a good job tonight, but that's going to be tough for them. And we kind of talked about it. The fouls pile up as Zimpel, no good on the first. But now that any foul that Pine City gives is going to be at least a shot for Braham, I feel like now the scales kind of tip in Braham's favor.
Definitely. Once the fouls come into hand, it's going into the team who is getting fouled or who's not, like, who's getting the shots. And like you said,
we'll see a foul here on Braham, so that'll be their 6th. They're 1 away from putting Pine City in the bonus. They're going to get this one on Madison Davis, her first. She's played a really clean game. Heeman fell real hard, but she is up. She is one tough player. But on the other side, Zimpel did make the second of her 2 shots, so she made 1 of 2 there. And this one, all of a sudden, here we go. Rysdam with the steal. Gets her on one defender. Shot is up, no good. And it's Jusak with the rebound. How is that not a, my goodness. Took a while, but they did finally get the foul call on the Bombers, and that'll send Jusak to the line for a 1-and-1. Took a little bit. They're going to call that one Olivia Hikus, her first as well. But yeah, that one, she had the rebound, and there were about 3 different hands that could have been called for a foul, but they finally got it. So Jusak at the line to shoot a 1-and-1 now, as both teams are in the bonus. And it's good by Jusak. And again, we talk about Jusak kind of being the key player for the Dragons and how we feel like she needs to kind of be that player for the Dragons, as she kind of has been all year, but as she drops in the second one. But she's done such a good job. But I think sometimes we forget to mention all the other players that do so well for Pine City. Even if they don't have as many points or rebounds as Jusak, they do their own part. And you talk about that, just playing your role and doing what you're supposed to do. And the rest of the team has done that so far. Morgan Rysdam with a shot that's no good from 3. Madison Davis going to just watch it go out of bounds, as Pine City was the last to touch it. But, I mean, how nice is it as a coach for Pine City, or for any team really, to know, hey, we have that big-time scorer in Jusak, but we also have a bunch of other complementary players.
It's very trusting. You have a very trustworthy team.
I would certainly agree, as Summer Thiemann draws the foul. Did not see the number of who that one was on. Don't know if that was Hikus, Duvernay. I'm not real sure. I thought I seen a 5, but I'm not sure. Well, someone got a foul. That is all we know. Because it was an offensive foul, it won't be a shot for Pine City yet. Jusak, and this one's stolen away. That's what Pine City's got to watch out for, those passes. And yeah, now Boland's going to get called for the foul on the side of Pine City. That was on Duvernay, by the way. It's her 3rd. They're going to get this one on Klepper. So actually, that's, I think, better for Pine City, because it would have been Boland's 3rd. Instead, it's Klepper's 2nd. But Madison Davis at the line now for a 1-and-1. Shot is up and good by Davis. 2:42 to go here, Taylor. 54-37. Again, this is going to be a fun end to this one.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You can already tell that Braham's picking up those points again, but Pine City's still doing it. They're still playing their game.
They really are, as Dragons get it up the court quickly. In a little bit of trouble was Thiemann, and Jusak lost it. She dives for it. I mean, you talk about just laying it all on the line. Looks like we're going to get a foul here on Braham. And they're going to have a conversation, but this should be a foul on Braham, and it will be. It'll be on Morgan Rysdam, her 3rd, and that'll send Jusak to the line for a 1-and-1. Now, Braham's only 1 foul away from putting Pine City in the double bonus, so any shot or any foul would put the Dragons up for a chance at 2 free throws. So Pine City doing a good job at drawing the fouls. Jusak, no good. That's her first miss from the free throw line here tonight, Taylor, and we still have plenty of time. What does that do for Braham? I mean, I got to assume you'd think that would give them a little bit more confidence.
Well, you have those free throw players that you have every single game and you can trust. And Carly Jusak has been one of those. And when she misses one, it just picks your team up, and then you know that, oh my gosh, then we got the momentum, we get the ball, we're going to go.
Absolutely, as Jusak did get a steal there and then take it the other way for a fast break. And then we got a foul here on Jusak. Her 3rd and team's 9th. Duvernay is at the line for a 1-1. So each team nearing that double bonus. Duvernay, no good on the first, and it is Boland with the rebound. And nice job by Summer Thiemann to keep that alive. Wow, that one was out of bounds by all considerations, and then Thiemann gets fouled hard going towards the basket. Are they going to? I hope they're not discussing a tech here. No, I don't think so. Maybe just on who that was on. Usually when you see a foul happen like that and then they come together, your first thought is, are they going to discuss a tech? But thankfully they didn't there, and Thiemann drops in the first.
And like I was kind of saying earlier, they're really getting physical. Like, I don't know how many times they fouled Summer now, but she's been on the ground every single time they fouled her.
Yeah, she really has, but I mean, this is quite the physical game, especially like you mentioned here at the later stages of this one. And easy. Oh, for Heikes, couldn't get it to fall, but she gets her own rebound and she's fouled. And it will be 2 for her. To get this one on. Oh, that's going to be Lottie. Sadly, that is it for her tonight. But she's all smiles coming to the sideline. There's not a lot of players that will foul out of a game and come to the sideline smiling, but Vivian Lottie is one of those players. So Heikes at the line for Braham to shoot 2. No good on the first. And speaking of a player like that who comes to the sideline, she fouls out, but she's smiling coming all the way back. I mean, what is it like for a coach to have that type of player? Because you were kind of like that for volleyball. Whether you were playing or not, you were always on the sideline. You were the hype man. You were always trying to be that positive enforcement. I can't help but love it because that does wonders for a team.
Yeah, definitely. Having a player like that coming off the bench and now standing up and cheering for your team, it's just you have that player that's is energetic, is positive, and is like, well, I just fouled out. That's my bad. Well, now I get to go cheer for my team. So that's a very good person to have on your bench or on your team in total. It
really is, and it's great to see that she's able to do that. And, I mean, again, not a lot of players who would come back to the sideline smiling, but she does. And Klepper was fouled. It was Heikes who got her third, and Klepper drops it in. 1:24 to go. Dragons lead 59-39. And no good on the second. Ooh. Gonna get a foul on Jusak. That's her fourth. Fighting for the rebound. I think they're going to say she might have hooked a little bit too much, but it was close. So Duvernay will go the other side and shoot 2.
And that's a player who Braham definitely wants to have out.
Yes, more absolutely. And we'll get a timeout here called, I think, by Pine City. So let's take a look at that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard.
Embrace Orthodontics. Leave with a smile you will embrace forever. Find out more at embracemn.com.
Dragons lead 59-39. And before we get the free throw from Nicole Duvernay, we got a timeout called here by Pine City. And Pine City looks to be on their way to a win. But Taylor, even though they've got a 20-point lead, I mean, I don't know about you, but it still feels like it's really close.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be way more points scored by Braham in these next 1 minute and 23 seconds. They're going to definitely be pushing hard because they want this win. They want this so much that they're wanting Carly Jusak out. They're wanting all their big rebounders out too.
Yes, absolutely. As we do see a couple of substitutions here for the Bombers. Number 34 checks into the game. That is Mackenzie Gawley. As no good on the first one is Duvernay. Trying to get all the numbers and names here for you. And that one is good from Duvernay. Also into the game is number 24-10. 24-10 and Yeah, that's it. 24 and 10. So 24, that'll be Bridget Golly. And number 10 will be Ayla Anderson. Dragons do have the ball, working with it. Jusak has it. Jusak gives it to Thiemann. Thiemann looking to Gray. She'll give it to Gray. And they're more or less just going to try and dribble this clock out. Jusak has it back outside to Thiemann. Thiemann dribbles around. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Can't get the roll on that one, and it's rebounded by Avery Schockman. This is stolen away by Taylor Haney. And a smart timeout call there by Patrick Judd. And now we'll get a couple substitutions here for the Pine City Dragons. 5:33 and 1 check into the game. Of course, 1 is going to be Rachel Brown. And number 5 will be Isabel Calatayud Prieto. I think I'm close on it, at least. And then, of course, 33 will be Brecken Reiser. A 3 from Haney. A little too strong on that one. No good, and rebounded there by Alex Rysdam. 18 seconds to go. Out to Avery Schockman. Now to Ayla Anderson on the side here for Rysdam. Underneath, trying to get it to her teammate Ayla Anderson, but it goes out of bounds, and Dragons will get it back. And this will be it. So the Dragons will keep themselves in line for a conference crown. They'll need to beat Ogilvie, and we had the Ogilvie girls here tonight. They were watching, and they know what they've got to deal with here coming up in only a little bit. We'll take a look at when they play them here after a word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to Girls Basketball on WCMP.
Most days I don't know what to do with myself.
I try to be the strong one for my buddies, but I don't know if I'm going to make it through the week.
He has night terrors about it.
The lack of fresh powder for snowmobile season can be devastating, but taking your mind off the subject can help.
This week, get a Whitney's Country Cafe $15 certificate for only $7.50. Wow, that's half off.
Visit WCMPradio.com/deals to help take your mind away from just pinning it or hitting your favorite curve before the ditch. WCMPradio.com/deals. Hang in there, buddy. Hockey practice, running a business, heck, just enjoying your life. You've got better things to do. Let Jeff's Outdoor Services handle your lawn care and landscaping. Your home, your cabin, your business, they got you covered. They've been doing it since 1995, and they're good at it. Call today. Jeff's Outdoor Services. You do your thing, and they'll do theirs.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, why have you been so happy lately?
It's because I no longer pay for hot water.
What? You have 4 teenagers that take all-day showers. How do you not pay for hot water?
Well, I put in a central boiler outdoor furnace that heats my house, my garage, and now I have virtually endless free hot water.
Wow, that's great. With my 10 kids, I'll really save some money. Where do I get a furnace?
Check with your local central boiler dealer, of course.
Northland Boiler Sales, your local central boiler sales dealer. Visit northlandboilersales.com.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local Auto Owners agency, Pine Insurance Agency at pineagency.us today.
The saga continues. We now know with certainty that Kidney Stone will return for Season 5, Part 2, its final episodes, in November 2024. The same love story.
No one messes with my girl.
Oh, Bip, I love you.
Trying to save the ranch.
It's got the best pull shed in Kanabec County.
And of course,
This week, grab your tickets to the new Wrangler Stampede Rodeo. 3 options to choose from. or you're going to the train station.
Let's take him to the train station.
WCMPradio.com/deals. WCMPradio.com/deals. Save now, but wait to watch what used to be your favorite show and everybody was talking about it, and now it's kind of lost its momentum.
Are you looking for a position where your role impacts the community around you? Then look no further than Burnett Dairy Cooperative in Grantsburg, Wisconsin. Owned by the farmers in your community, Burnett Dairy offers numerous career options with various responsibilities and growth opportunities. Positions such as CDL drivers, who work closely with our farmers, cheese production, creating award-winning cheeses, and retail store clerks making someone's day better. Visit BurnettDairy.com and click on Careers to join our herd.
All right, settle down. Let's call the meeting of people that complain about everything all the time and never do anything about it to order. Any complaints?
Yeah, my heating bill's too high.
Oh, yeah? Well, Bobby just bought an outdoor furnace from Central Boiler, and he eliminated his heating bill.
What about the hot water?
He eliminated that heating bill, too.
What about his shop?
He heats that, too.
I have no more complaints.
I think Central Boiler offers a solution to our complaints.
Save money on your cooling and heating bills. Visit NorthlandBoilerSales.com, your local Central Boiler sales dealer.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, we're now joined by our player of the game, that is Vivian Lottie. First of all, Vivian, congratulations on the win here tonight.
Thank you.
And now, there's something that I don't see too often. Someone who fouls out and comes back to the bench smiling. I mean, you don't see that too often, but what was the smile for?
I'm just really proud of my team. I didn't agree with some of the fouls that were called on me, but I know since I can't play anymore, I need to carry that energy onto the bench.
And I think you certainly did that here in this game. But in the first half, it was a pretty physical game all throughout. In the first half, Braham went on a little bit of a run there at the end to take a 1-point lead going into halftime. What was the message to you guys there in the locker room?
He really just said we got to start working harder. We did let up a couple shots, but we can always come back from that.
And again, this was a pretty physical game, but you guys stuck right in it all the way through. And I think a big thing was the free throws. Free throws have been kind of up and down this year, but here tonight, it looked like they really improved. And what would you kind of contribute that improvement to?
Every practice, we have to shoot at least 20 free throws, so I think that helps a lot. And then just during practice, shooting pressure free throws and being in these different pressure situations really help us during the game.
Absolutely, and this team has really grown. And tonight you're without one of your players, but you got to see some other players get some valuable varsity time. In fact, you got to be one of the starters here tonight. How did that feel to get to be a starter?
I'm really sad Piper's out, but it also felt really great finally being a starter, but I can't wait to see her back on the court.
And you guys will have 3 games next week, and the final one of the week is going to be the big one against Ogilvie. But how does it feel, first of all, to be in a spot where that game is basically the conference championship game?
It feels really good. Going into this year, we didn't really know what was going to happen with this conference championship, but seeing how far we've come throughout this whole season has really made me proud.
And I got to imagine there's revenge on your guys' minds here coming up for next Friday.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll be here for that one. And Vivian, thank you so much for joining me, and good luck coming up next week.
Thank you so much.
That, again, is Vivian Lottie, our player of the game here on WCMP. Joining us here for the post game. Again, a very good game here tonight for all of the Dragons. They pulled it out here in the second half. And quickly before we continue on with that, taking a look at the stats for this game, leading the way for the Bombers was Madison Davis with 11, and then 9 for Olivia Heikus, 7 for Erin Zimpel, 6 for Nicole Duvernay, then 4 for Morgan Rysdam, and 3 for Alex Rysdam. Of course, again, this was a very tough game, but great throughout. Leading the way rebound-wise for Braham, 8 for Nicole Duvernay, really no surprise. 5 for both Morgan Rysdam and Madison Davis, then 4 for Erin Zimpel, Olivia Heikus, and Alex Rysdam. They went 10 of 21 from the free throw line. They were exactly 50% in the first half, just under 50% in the second half, and they had 15 total steals with 14 team fouls. And Taylor, we talk about that. Clean first half, only 2 fouls in the first half, and they had 12 here in the second half. And I got to imagine some of that was the pressure they felt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely the pressure that Pine City put on them. It was amazingly big. It was to the point where Pine City is throwing themselves into maybe purposely doing that, maybe getting those extra points to get in, or maybe just pushing on offense to make sure that we get those fast plays, like that one that I said gave me chills, and Vivian
Yeah.
Lottie, and it they got the rebound, and then it was Braham's ball, and then it was Pine's ball, and then it was Braham's ball again, and then Pine City stole it again, and then it was up, and then it was up, and then it was in. That gave me pure chills. That's what I really think that's what got Braham so many fouls is because Pine City then picked it up and became fast and quick offense.
And looking on the side of Pine City, leading the way was Carly Jusak with 25 points. Thiemann came behind her with 16, 10 for Mallory Klepper, and then 5 for Vivian Lottie, 3 for Brooke Bolin. And again, you may not see all the stats for those players. Vivian Lottie, our player of the game. The reason why she's the player of the game, again, 5 rebounds. She did foul out, but again, just being in the right place, right time at all times, and she did such a good job, and she's such a good teammate too, and that brings that energy, and you talked about it, just you need someone like that on the sideline, and she was. I mean, coming off the court, smiling after falling out, you just don't see that, but very cool to see that from her tonight. Rebound-wise, it was Carly Jusak with 15, 7 for Mallory Klepper, and 5 for Vivian Lottie. Jusak just continues to add to that 1,000. I know it's a long shot, but could we see 1,500? Could we see it? It's a long shot, but the way she's going, it may not be so much of a long shot. We might see it. But free throw-wise, they were 12 of 16, a vast improvement from that Ogilvie game. And you talked about it. That was going to be kind of key here in this one, and it really showed 11 of 14 in the second half. And again, 1 of 2 in the first half, so 12 for 16 total. They only missed 4 total. They had 13 total team steals, 6 in the first, 7 in the second. They had 6 blocks here tonight. 4 of them came from Jusak, but 2 from Mallory Klepper, and we talked about it. She's kind of stepping into that Jusak role here as the season goes along.
Yeah, definitely. She's like, oh, I'm just going to slip into these shoes. It's not even stepping, it's like slipping.
Yes, it really is, and she's done a really good job of that, and I think for this team, that's got to be really exciting for them to see that going forward. They did have 17 team fouls, 6 in the first half, 11 in the second half, but the Dragons do come away with the victory, 59-40, and again, we looked at it here at the break. It's going to be a full week of play for the Dragons coming up next week. It's 3 games next week. 3 of them, ladies and gentlemen. All of them at home. So you talked about it. It is nice for them. They get all these games at home next week, but it is a long week because you get 3 games and then you end it with Ogilvie. Do you think the long week kind of works against them at all because of the fact they end the week having to play against Ogilvie for the conference championship?
No, because I know that Pine City comes out and they play their hardest, even if they have 4 games in a week. I know that they go out, they play their hardest, and they come out really strong and good, even if they're exhausted. They work so hard to keep that momentum and that energy up, even after a long week. So I do not really think so.
And they will start the week against Barnum at home, who is 8-11. So, again, these are all on paper that it looks like, oh, well, this could be a win. And a lot of times I think we get so much caught up in the fact that, oh, well, on paper this team looks like an easy win. But as we know, it's never easy, as we've seen so many times. And I think for Pine City, they'll definitely be going into next week saying to themselves, hey, there is no break. We have to continue to push, and we have to continue to play hard. And then it will be Hermantown on Tuesday. So it'll be Monday, Tuesday, then they get a break. Hermantown not having the greatest of seasons, 5-14, so a down year for them. So again, on paper it looks like an easy win, but again, they're a bigger school, so that means a deeper bench, so that could mean more rested players, which should come into play. And then, well, we all know Ogilvie coming up on Friday. But they do have one more game before the week of play next week. They will play Piers here tomorrow. They will travel up to Piers, will the Pine City Dragons, to play the Pioneers, who are also in AA, and another team who doesn't have the best of records, but again, it's all on paper. Looking at what is coming up for the Braham Bombers, they will wait until next week. They will play 2 games, one on the road and one at home. They'll start with a game against East Central at East Central, and then they'll welcome in the Mille Lacs Raiders. I lied, that they have 3 games because they have a big one at the end of the week against Mountain Iron Buell, and that will be a big one for them. Section-wise, QRF-wise, that will be a big game for the Braham Bombers. For us on the other hand, this will be it for tonight as the Dragons get the victory 59-40. Of course, I want to thank all of our fine sponsors for sponsoring this and every other broadcast that we do. I want to thank all of you who tuned in here tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget, if you're watching this game on our YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. If you're on the YouTube, go ahead and click that red subscribe button. Just click it. You'll be subscribed, and then you'll get a notification anytime that we go live with a local sporting event. And all you'll have to do is click on that notification, and it will take you right to the live video. Of course, don't forget to stay tuned to our morning shows over on 95.5 FM KBEK and on 100.9 FM WCMP on KBEK with Rock and Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30. Then over on WCMP with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45. Again, local sports updates. We'll talk this game, all the other games in our local listening area, plus we'll talk regional and national sports as well. Also, we will don't forget to stay tuned to our websites, WCMPradio.com, KBEK.com, as well as our social media at WCMP Radio Facebook, KBEK Facebook, and at WCMP Radio on Twitter, which is called X, but I'm still going to call it Twitter. So stay tuned to all of those because we'll keep you up to date with record-breaking news for sports, schedule changes for sports, LOI signings, game time changes, schedule changes, cancellations, all things local sports will keep you up to there, as well as game recaps as well. So again, I thank you all for tuning in, and Taylor, you have any final thoughts here on this one?
No, I do not. It was a really good game. I'm glad I came out here. Thank you for having me again. So fun.
Absolutely. Thanks again for coming out. We appreciate you, and you might have to keep coming back. Your predictions just continue to come right, and again, I might be out of a job, but for now, I'll continue to work with you. But until that job's on the line, we might have to make a little bit of a deal. But no, I appreciate you coming out once again. It's been so fun to have you out here and get your perspective on these games. We appreciate you coming out, and again, thanks to all of you who tuned in. Thanks to all the fine sponsors. Once again, the final, the Dragons get the victory over the Braham Bombers 59-40. The conference championship will come to Pine City next Friday when they host the Ogilvie Lions. The winner of that game takes the conference crown. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. That was Taylor Tollefson. I want to thank you all for tuning in, and once again, have a great rest of your night.